It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining us in The Sam Lesante Show. Folks, this is going to be an interesting show. I'm telling you, it's going to be an interesting show. These are the kind of shows I like to do, you know, and first of all, thank you so much for making The Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in Northeastern Pennsylvania. And my friends, that comes from the scientific poll. Susquehanna Polling and Research, they were voted the #1 polling company in the United States by Real Clear, and we appreciate that. Now, my guest today is interesting. I find this guy very interesting in his unique ways of selling automobiles and in the auto industry. You know, you're saying, could you trust a used salesperson? Could you trust a car salesperson? I've been dealing with this franchise, with this company for many, many years. At one time it was called Berger Family Dealerships, and Earl Berger was a strong supporter of local television, and I thank Earl and his family for that. He believed in what we were doing and continues to believe in that. And then a great firm, a great company, great family, Blaise Alexander took over the firm, the dealerships, and they continued on the same values. They continued on to grow. But most importantly, my friends, I've met Blaise Alexander maybe once or twice and spoken to him on the phone, and Audrey and Adam, and I find them to be honest. I find them to be sincere, and I find them that they want to help the community. And as a result, these dealerships and franchises they participate in giving back to the community. And that's really nice. I also have to tell you, there are other agents of car dealerships in this area who have also been extremely good. Feisner Ford, Roy Feisner, fabulous family, been offering services for many years. Toyota in town has been one of our major supporters with local television and neighborhood programming, and we appreciate that. And they also give back to the community. Now, who is my guest? You've probably seen him on television, on this station, every day with Wheels and Deals, and you've seen these interesting commercials. His name is Ray Merril. Ray, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing, Sam?
Good, good. You are a unique character.
That's what my wife says.
You are a unique character. You know what I like about you? I like the fact that you are always upbeat. You're always positive. You always have exciting things to say. Even though you may have left your office and had a disaster on your hands, you check your emotions at the door and you treat that person with excitement.
Attitude's a choice. That's the only choice you get to make. When you wake up in the morning, it's going to be a great day. My wife goes nuts with that, because if she doesn't have her coffee, I'm not allowed to talk to her. So I come out, good morning, sweetie, how are you doing? She goes, nope. So no, I choose to be excited.
And it follows through, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But let's talk about, you know, you have an interesting career, because there are certain people that really get into a business or a profession that they just love, and you could see it in them. Then there's certain people, which I feel bad for, they go to work and hate really going to work. That's sad, you know. You were a construction.
Yeah, I worked construction out of high school. I was in the Army, and then I went to construction, and I broke my neck in '96. And the doctor said, find something else to do, so I figured I'd sell cars.
Why sell cars?
Well, my aunt and uncle always told me that I could sell ice to an Eskimo.
And believe me, my friends, that is true. Yeah.
But no, and I really know nothing about cars. I'm about people. You know, people make this world go around, and someone said the other day, if you're a general manager of a store, you're involved in people development.
Yeah.
And that's exciting for me when you have people that you hire that know nothing, and you teach them and train them, and you see them excel and move on to bigger and better things. It's exciting for me.
So your transition from construction worker, and then you decided to go into the selling automobiles and the auto industry, is because you felt what you wanted to do with people?
Yes. Yeah.
Was there any other profession that you looked at?
No. Yeah, I was going to be a brain surgeon. I didn't want to do the college.
Thank God for that. So this is interesting, because there are certain people that just have the sales technique, right, and there are certain people that don't. And that's why we have different professions.
Well, so I kind of say that we have people that sell cars. We don't have car salesmen because everyone has that stigma. Don't trust a used car salesman. They're going to do. I don't want to sell you one car. If you're going to buy a car from me, we're going to make sure it's the right car, it's in the budget, and then we're going to make sure we take care of you. Half the people we sell to now are people I sold cars to 20 years ago in Bloomsburg. It's crazy, but they follow you. If it's not, hi, thanks for buying, see you later, but you build a relationship with these people.
It's interesting because I was in the retail business for 28, 30 years with Johnny Morato, and you had to train your people. But when you say, why did this stigma come, don't trust a used car salesman? I mean, I know Jerry Enders, who has Northeast Autos. He's one of the finest guys you can meet, and honest, okay? I don't know if you know Jerry Enders from out in Pottsville. I mean, just a great guy. But why did that stigma come?
I'm not sure. I know there's some shady characters out there. I mean, there are in any profession. I almost want to blame it on Three's Company. If you think back to, what was it, Jack Tripper's friend, Larry.
Yeah.
He had that used cars.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
You remember?
I was just 2 years old at the time. Yeah, I'm not as old as you, right?
But I guess if you're just in it for the money, you don't care what you sell to people, and you don't care what you tell them.
But don't you think I'll come and bite you in the rear?
If you don't care about reputation, yeah, it's going to bite you in the rear.
I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 24/7, SSPTV.com. You can watch all of our local neighborhood programming. And Comcast 190 in Pottsville, 7 to 11 every day. We've been on there since 1999. The Wilkes-Barre Mountaintop area, Channel 92, and of course, Service Electric Cablevision, Channel 13 and 513. Appreciate that very much. I'm speaking to, my guest today is Ray Merril. Now, you've seen him, you see him every day on Wheels and Deals on our channel, but you've seen him on commercials. Ray is the general manager for Blaise Alexander here in Hazleton. And talking about, we were talking and then the boss calls, Blaise.
Yep.
And the reason why he called is because I wanted to find out something of his background. Because to me, when you're looking at a person who has been in business so many years,
Successfully.
They know. Yes.
Yeah.
That tells a story. Am I correct?
Yep. Yes, it does. And I guess we just talked to him. We want to have the right facts. And that's the neat thing. Yes, he owns 20-something dealerships in Northeast PA, and yet he has the time to call. He's a hands-on owner, which is hard to find. And I don't even want to say this, but I shouldn't. But if you're at that elevation of income and have things going successfully and have people running your business, why get that involved?
Why
get your hands dirty? That's exactly it, yeah. And that's the value.
He probably may not remember me, but I remember I met him through Mark Fracolosi. And you could see right talking to him, he knew what he was doing,
Yes.
But the entire family, as I mentioned, Audrey and Adam, they're involved and they treat people with respect.
Yes.
Now, as someone says, don't ever take my kindness, for being stupid, okay? Yeah. They know what they're doing in training. Ray, when you're involved with people and dealing with your salespeople, how do you approach that?
What do you mean, how do I approach it?
Well, when you're dealing with people, I know we had salespeople,
Yep.
and you have all different kind of emotions. And I remember I said, when you come out and someone sees you, you're always upbeat,
Yep.
you're always positive, and you could have a catastrophe in your office before that, but you automatically check that emotion at the door and you approach that. I mean.
So my whole life I've been, if it doesn't matter in 5 years from today, it doesn't matter now. And if it's a problem, it's not a problem, it's a situation that we can handle. I just write it off. My thing is when you deal with people, they don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. So when we go and we greet a customer, I want to find out what you're looking for. I want to find out if it's in your budget. We want to make sure we can get you the right car. And with salespeople, you have to have empathy for them, not sympathy. Like, yes, stuff happens. How can I lift you up from your bootstraps? What can I do to make it better? I'm not here to sit and complain and wallow around with you about being sad. I want to know, how can I improve your situation? And that's how we do stuff. You know, it's a team effort. You know, it doesn't matter if you're the quarterback, if you're the defensive end, or if you're the punter. If the punter wins the game, it's all part of the team, no matter how much time they're on the playing field. And that's how I treat my people.
And in terms of promoting, you know, and bringing awareness, you said that you have customers from 20 years ago
Yes.
that follow you, and that's what happens. They trust in you. And I know when the transition was made here in Hazleton with Berger family, you know, great. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, Earl Berger was one of our greatest supporters and still is. But, you know, people say, oh, who is this Blaise? Someone knew of Blaise Alexander, but it was difficult to me to get acclimated, you know, it was a change of people until they got there. I mean, how did you find that?
Yeah, I did find that. I started around 7 months after he purchased the place. But, you know, I actually bought a house up in Hazleton, and we lived up here, and the people up here are great. And when you support local businesses, I'm a community guy. I know everyone's about high tech. Heck with the high tech. It's still about touch. You know, it's the warm, how you doing? It's the handshake. Yeah. It's enjoying getting involved with people. We did fundraiser with Unico, you know, at the Italian Festival right at Community Park, the museum downtown with the Witches Walk. When you get involved with people and they know that you're there for the community, it all comes together.
And I alluded to that in the beginning of the show when we talked about, you know, like Feistner Ford, who's been Roy Feistner. And did you ever have the pleasure of meeting Roy?
No, I have not.
One of the nicest people you could ever meet. And he was like you, Ray, concerned about people and service and making sure you care. We have Toyota in town who's been on our station for many years supporting local programming. You know, and I don't want to miss anyone, but in Pottsville we have Weaver, Bob Weaver, who, you know Bob Weaver?
Bob Weaver's a great guy, yeah.
I mean, he's a real nice person. And he's been a supporter of us in Pottsville. Jerry's Northeast Sales. Jerry does a co-host with me with the Schuylkill Report. But when I start seeing the commercials, going back when Adam, not before you, Adam and Audrey, it reminded me of Mark Fracolosi, who was a good friend of mine.
Yes.
Now, for those of you who remember Fracolosi, he came up with these crazy commercials, okay? But that reminds me of the story of the farmer who had the mule. He had a mule that was absolutely workable. He was strong. I mean, every day that mule was out there, and everybody wanted that mule. So they said, look, if you're ever going to sell that mule, I want to buy it. Every farmer wanted it. Finally, the farmer said he's going to retire. He says, I'm selling the mule. Guy buys the mule. The next day he gets up, puts the plow on, and says, let's go. The mule stands there, doesn't move. Come on, let's go. The mule just stands there. He's coaxing the coat and doesn't want to move. Goes across and says, hey, you sold me the mule, doesn't want to do a damn thing. Just a second. He comes over. He looks at the mule, gets a bat, bing, he whacks him in the coolie. All of a sudden, the mule gets up. He says, all right, start plowing. And the mule starts. He said, what the hell was that? He says, first, you have to get his attention.
Nice.
So with Audrey and Blaise Alexander, not that you hit you in the whoop, but you get people's attention, okay? Am I correct?
You're right. We're like those big blowy guys that are on the side of the road, right?
So once you get my attention, all right, so then say, what the hell, if I'm looking for a car or a truck or whatever, you know, and that's what I found the fun part. In fact, my friends, I'm going to show you, we're going to show you a few of the commercials that this guy, Ray Merril, produced, I guess, right? And which ones do we want to, which two do we want to show?
My favorite one so far, and we get most of these ideas show up in the shower. That's where I do my best thinking. And too bad I can't write them down. But one of the funniest ones that he's probably going to queue up for you is this one. It was a March one, and there's so much going on in March. You have Mother's Day, Cinco de Mayo. You have May the 4th be with you. Oh, May. It would be May.
Yeah,
May the 4th be with you, and then Veterans Day. And to me, it's very entertaining. It's a good one.
All right, so we'll show you this.
Hey guys, this is Ray and Chad from Blaise, Alexander, Greater Hazleton. Don't forget, we have the lowest price guarantee. We'll give you $1,000. There's a ton of stuff going on in May.
May the 4th be with you.
Cinco de Mayo.
And let's not forget Mother's Day!
So if you're in the market for a new car, come to Blaise, Alexander, Greater Hazleton. Whether it's new or used, we got the lowest price guarantee, or
we'll give you $1,000.
And also in May, the most important remembrance is everyone that put their name on the dotted line to protect our freedom. God bless everyone. Remember Memorial Day.
Well, that was entertaining. Okay, now I want to correct something. It's Aubrey.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
I don't want Aubrey to get mad at me, but it's a unique name. You
Yes,
said it was named after Blaise?
I think it was named after Blaise's dad, yes.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice name. So looking at that, so you get my attention. Okay. Now, you're also doing wheels and deals.
Yes,
okay?
we are.
Now, that's an entertaining show, because what you do is you make that entertaining for me. It's not boring. I'm serious. Not because we produce it.
It's great though, because we get to say who we are. You know, like I said, I was talking about high tech before. It's not about high tech. It's like, do you really care about me? You know, you're making the second biggest purchase of your life, you know, with a car opposed to a house. Your son does a great job producing it and asking us questions. And it's not scripted. It's just how we feel.
I know.
It's just, we need to talk for a half hour about what we do, and we know what we do, so it's real.
Of course, I go get my car serviced up here on West Hazleton at your GMC dealership. And I find, and I'm not just saying this, but I find the service to people so nice. So very entertaining. I mean, the girls who work there, the two guys are there. Yeah. They're always nice, no matter what's going on. Here again, I could see Ray Merril filtering down.
We expect it. When you could tell your employees, listen, my goal is to make sure you're happy coming to work, you're excited to be with the people you are, you're part of a team that's winning and making a difference in the neighborhood, you could stay. If you don't want to, there's the door. It's okay. You know, you don't have to be part of an exciting team. Yeah. We just like it. We feed off each other, and it's very awesome. And for everyone to participate when your son comes by to do the Wheels for Deals special, everyone is excited to do it because they all want. And now it didn't start like that, but they're starting to realize they don't have a choice.
I tell you about one lady who called. She said she came up. She was disappointed she didn't see you. You know, she found you to be such a nice person. I said, you don't know Ray.
You don't know the real me.
No, she found that, you know, and so I said, well, did you buy Vic? She said, no, I want to come back when he's there. Okay. Well, that's good, but all of your sales reps and salespeople are nice to deal with.
Yes, yes. And we pride ourselves. Like I said, when we hire someone, I don't care if you sold 30 cars at your other dealership. If you don't fit into the team atmosphere we have, go somewhere else. It's okay.
You know, going back to talking about Blaise, Blaise Alexander, when you look at when, you know, his father was in the business and he kept on top of his business, giving the people the best that they can, giving the people the best prices that they can, that's really admirable. Because you don't have that, and his family too.
Yes.
They care. I mean, you know him a lot better than I do.
Yeah, and so he, like he said, he's in his 70s, and he's been in the business since 1950. But here's my thought. He called me on the first cloudy, rainy day, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and say, hey, just make sure you have your lot lights on so people know we're open. Blaise
Alexander and his family worked.
Oh, yes.
Okay, no one said, here's a silver spoon. Go ahead, my friend. You know, we're wealthy. Go on. No, it didn't happen with Blaise.
And he still does it.
Yeah.
He has the auction that goes every Monday, and he's hands-on. He's there opening cars, pushing cars in and out. Like, that's his passion.
That's what's keeping him young.
Yes, and when you're passionate about what you do, like us with sales, it's not a job if you love what you do every day.
We're going to show you one more commercial and go to break. Which one are we going to show them now?
I think we should show them the one that I put my producer through. I asked him if I could slide down a rainbow. So this is one for that.
Okay.
We're training new salespeople here at Blaise Alexander.
Where's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow?
It's not a pot of gold. It is the lowest price guarantee. You'll get $1,000. Now let's get out there and get ready for the people.
Lowest price is guaranteed. Lowest price is guaranteed. Taking the deals, the other guys won't.
So get out of Blaise Alexander for our St. Chadwick's Day sale this March. This is madness. You can't say that. We're sailing in the rain, just sailing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. They're buying a terrain. There's wind on the windshield. And that's why people come to us. We have great deals, awesome salespeople, and a great time. And don't forget this, Blaise Alexander Greater Hazleton will always be sailing in the rain. Hey guys, this is Merril and the gang from Blaise Alexander Greater Hazleton Buick GMC. This is Independence Month, so I want you to declare your independence from high car prices, declare your independence from ridiculous interest rates, and declare your independence from stuffy, boring salespeople. And remember this, at Blaise Alexander Greater Hazleton, we got the lowest price guarantee.
Or we'll pay you $1,000, guaranteed.
Dude, you weren't even born yet.
We have time machines in the future.
Hey guys, this is Merril, Blaise Alexander Greater Hazleton. It is summertime, it is time for fun. And don't forget, we have the lowest price guarantee.
Or you'll get $1,000.
Flip flops and red tops.
S'mores and encores.
Here at Blaise Alexander Greater Hazleton, we have a huge selection of used cars. We have the lowest price guarantee, or
We'll give you $1,000.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas from Blaise Alexander Mazda. Robert, have you been a good kid?
I've been a real good kid this year.
Ho, ho! What do you want for Christmas?
I think I want a Mazda 3. Actually, a Mazda 3 hatchback. How about a CX-5? Or 50s are a little bit big. Can I get a CX-90?
How about an Xbox?
Thank
Ho,
you.
ho, ho!
Thank you, son. I really
Merry
appreciate it.
Christmas! Maybe I should have said PlayStation. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas from Blaise Alexander Mazda. Don't let the Grinch steal your dream. Come get a great deal at Blaise Alexander Mazda. Oh, Merry Christmas!
Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. And once again, thank you for making this show the #1 talk show in Northeastern Pennsylvania. And that's taken my friends from the Scientific Poll with Susquehanna Polling and Research. I appreciate that very much. You know, it's interesting because we're talking today about local businesses, and we're talking about how we support our communities. And I want to thank all of the advertisers we've had since 1994 who believed in us. And national television is telling you this. National media is saying they're looking for neighborhood shows, people who are living in your neighborhood, and thank God we're ahead in that area. We appreciate that. Now, once in a while I get a crazy person on my show. Okay, today I have a crazy good person on my show, Merril. He stars in the Wheels and Deals, which we show every day here, not only here, but in Comcast and Mountaintop. Ray has been in the automobile business, but he has a lot of fun doing it, as you could tell from some of the commercials. We talk about, you know, being enthusiastic. We talk about that, and one of the things, Ray, I really don't like to be around people who are negative. You know, especially if it's a, you know, like it's a lousy day, and if it's a sunny day, yeah, but tomorrow it's going to be raining. Well, let's enjoy the day. You find that?
I find it all the time. Like, how come when they do the weather, it's 40% chance of showers and not 60% chance of sunshine? I don't understand. Everyone's on the negative.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? But I like I said, life's a choice. You're either going to be miserable when you wake up, or you're going to be happy. And I decided to be happy.
Yeah. No matter what comes down to the thing. How do you approach, you know, training your people? Because when I was at Mazda talking to Alfredo, or was it? Adriel, and when I got there, this couple of salespeople came out and they were kidding me about my car and the whole bit. And I could see the same thing there in the Mazda dealership, franchise dealership, what you have over here in the GM and the Buick, and you know, and same in the Jeep. So I see that.
Well, we teach it. First of all, there's statistics in all the sales classes that they have online, and one of the main things that I have everyone focus on is 71% of the people will buy from you if they like you. So if you don't get the like going on, you're wasting your time. And do you want to buy from someone you like or from someone you don't like?
Tell me about it.
Right. So I say if you, that's what you got to work on.
But the word trust is there.
Right. Well, if they like you, they'll listen to you, and then they trust you.
And so the good thing about Blaise Alexander is you have the trust of, since he's been in business so many years, so well, sometimes a salesperson decides to move. Not that they don't like the age, but they move to North Carolina. Okay. Yep. So you still have that reputation going for you.
Yes, we do. We do. And Blaise is really big on that. He's like, don't give a deal or don't sell a car to a customer that you wouldn't sell to your mom. So everything that we have, we put. I don't want to sell you a car that in a year when you come in to get it inspected, you need stuff. You shouldn't need anything. And so we make sure that everything's
you don't make
good.
the cars either.
No, we don't. And thank God for extended warranties.
Yeah.
With technology today, if you get a car and you don't cover that, you're nuts. Anyway, but I'm not selling anything today.
But you're right, because when we sold pianos and organs, and Lowry was the #1 organ, but sometimes they had an organ that had some technical things that we're not aware of.
Right.
Well, don't blame me for that. It's, but we made good.
Right. Well, it's so nice when someone gets a warranty and they come in and they have a problem. And we could say, you know what, it's covered, here's a car, we'll fix it, it costs you nothing. Yeah. That makes us feel so good.
But your salespeople are trained to give the best advice. Okay.
Yes.
And once again, Ray, I find you very entertaining, but I also find you very smart in what you do. And here again,
about that part.
Well, no, the point is sometimes don't take my kindness for weakness. Okay?
Oh, yes.
And the point is that you do know your business and you do know what's going on, but you want to make it a happy time.
I do, because everyone does better when you're happy. I mean, when you're excited to do something, it's just the day goes faster. There's no complaining. There's no whining. If there's a situation, don't complain about it unless you have a solution, because I don't want to hear you whine.
Is that right? So they respond very well to you, okay?
Yes.
And when I get there and I'm getting my service in, let me go and talk to the boss. Good luck. And there you are doing whatever you're doing, and no matter what you're doing, you always find it. Hey, Sam, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. So I want to, first of all, I want to thank you and thank Blaise Alexander for supporting local television with your advertising.
Okay.
I appreciate
You're
that
welcome.
much. As I mentioned, my friends, there are a lot of dealerships who have been with us for many years. Feisner has been with us. Erlberger was one of our major supporters. He believed in what we're doing, and I appreciate that. Toyota has been also another company who's been very good to us. So we wish you. I'll see you up there.
Yep,
okay?
I'll be there.
And I'll straighten you out when I get in.
Please.
Oh, okay.
I need it.
Okay, we'll see you next time.